Grüezi and welcome everybody to a Let's Play for a Day, a game I'm only for once, and afterwards, nevermore. And today we got, yes, a game about brothers. A Tale of Two Sons. Yes, this is a game that actually had quite a wave. It is basically a mix. It's an interesting adventure game. It is about, well, controlling two brothers. It has an interesting mix out of a story, and also the gameplay is actually quite unique. Yes, it is also known for having a really touching and interesting, or at least touching story. I, for myself, aren't really that into this game. I've played it through, but yeah, I can actually talk about that when I dive into games, so let's just press play. Let's see, yeah, let's go for chapter 2. That gives a good portion of the gameplay. So let's first talk about the gameplay. The gameplay, the interesting aspect of this part of this game is, of course, you control two brothers at the same time. How do you do that? Well, you do that basically with one analog stick. You control one brother. With the other analog stick, you control the other brother, which can be hugely annoying. I will admit that. You can already see that I'm spazzing around like a retard. So if it looks extremely stupid, that is because it is really hard to control, because it's also hard to keep track of which joystick is used for which brother. And it's kind of Lost Viking-ish with some puzzles. For example, right here, oh no, there's a gate. Big clutter clots right here is too large to get through the gate. But, little brother, ooh, gets through, and now can use the crank right here to open up the gate for his big brother. Of course, this will actually get a little bit also more complicated. There are actually some quite clever puzzles, not clever puzzles. Also, of course, there's also an interact button, which are the left and right trigger, which can be even more annoying sometimes, because there are parts where you like have to hold on to something, and you have to like go at the right time, and if you don't know which button corresponds to which brother. For example, here I just used the interact key. It could of course be that that the wrong brother lets go and plummets into his doom, which is not good at all. No, because that means you have to restart the section. But there aren't that many sections of that. It is usually more really an experience, like experience the gorgeous environments, just look at the different things, like dive into a different world. And one thing I'm actually really happy about it, that this game has it, you can't run off ledges. That is a huge thing in this game. You can't, of course you can't really estimate that, but because you have so much trouble like controlling the brothers, or having sometimes issues to see which brother is controls which, it is actually hugely nice that you can't fall off at all. Like, also even over this ledge is very jumpy. It is, I think, impossible to not make those jumps. So this is actually a huge plus for the game, that it really puts the story in front of the gameplay challenge, and doesn't let you like fall down arbitrary cliffs like, oh ho ho, look at you, you steered that one brother wrong, now we have to do the whole section again. But no. But yeah, it is, I think some people this would be hugely annoying, but I actually enjoyed it quite a lot, like this kind of gameplay. It is of course a little bit disorienting and annoying, and the developers made sure that it's as least punishing as possible, so it won't be so you won't get frustrated too much. The only frustration you will experience is, of course, if you like want to control one brother but you constantly move around with the other one. But here's of course like a neat puzzle. Here's like a pipe. Big brother can barely move it around, but if I take both of them... Now this is like the part where it gets a little bit tricky, because of course you have to like remember which brother is which one. So you have to steer that quite nicely, of course, because otherwise they're gonna work against each other, which makes this thing even more painful. For example, now I have to steer with the big brother, so I adjust this. Now I go with the small brother. It is an interesting challenge. Also, of course, the camera's perspective is sometimes not your friend at all, because it's, for example, now I have trouble to know which way I have to press the joystick in order to maneuver the brothers decently. Does this even work? I think I can't brute force it around the corner. I have to go into this place right here. But yeah, I think this is a neat little gameplay challenge. It's kind of sad that this game, as well as Rogue Legacy, I didn't mention that actually, that this is also kind of controller hostile. Both games definitely would say need to record, because otherwise you would need WASD and arrow keys to move, which I imagine could be a huge pain. And in addition, they really don't like non-standard controllers. With my Logitech Rumble Pad, I actually had to mess around in the config file so I could actually get the controller decently to work. Because when I played it normally, I think one of the brothers' controller, the vertical axis was actually inverted. So when I ran up with the one brother, it went down. He went down. Like when I pressed up, he went down. And yes, of course, I should have maybe showed off the puzzle. That was, of course, to block right this, so we can just move over it. Brothers really don't care about what environment they probably destroy, I mean, they probably just cut off somebody's. No, I think this is too early for electricity, but I guess maybe just somebody's mill. Somebody's mill, so they won't have any flour anymore and go out of business. Jesus, brothers. But yeah, the gameplay is actually kind of nice. It's a fun gimmick that doesn't drag out too long. Fun, good enough. They basically use like every kind of trick you can do with like 2 different characters. As I said, it has something Lost Viking-ish because, of course, both the brothers have like different abilities. Although it usually gets down to who is like the big brother is the stronger one, the small that can like lift stuff the smaller brother can't. The small brother is the nimbler and more lanky one. He can get like through stuff. The older brother can't, etc., etc. But in the end, puzzles like these are a bit of a brain teaser, because you have to think, how do I need to turn this crank right there in order so it turns the right way? Because with one brother you have to pull, with the other brother you have to push. So it is sometimes a nice little brain teaser to basically yeah, it is like a little brain challenge. It is not like huge puzzles like I don't know, like Myst or something like that, of course. No, it is like, I would say, kind of a Trine-ish, Lost Viking-ish way, although Lost Vikings had like a bit more balls with puzzles. And of course here is another simple puzzle like, oh my god, there's a ladder. If I interact... Oh, silly little brother. You can't do it. Can you do it, big brother? Oh no, he has a different suggestion. He makes a... How do you say that? In German you say that... You call that a robber's ladder, but I don't know how we call that in English. Oh well, doesn't matter. You know what I mean. That's what I just did. Now I just hang on to the hook. That looked kind of wonky because I pressed the action button kind of late. And now the big brother can climb up. Also, one thing I have to mention, I don't know if that's like a controller bug or if it's a bug in the game. There are like some sections where both brothers have to turn a crank, and for some odd reason, in my game, it took fucking ages until the platform finally raised. I hope to God this is like a controller issue or it's just some other bug in the game, because it drove me nuts. I sat there like 2 minutes, or like, no, more than 2 minutes, holding both action buttons down just so I can proceed through the game. It was a huge pain. But oh well. But well, now let's talk about the story. Also, nice visuals, as always. But there's, I guess, not much to say about it. Game looks nice, it plays nice. But now about the story. So, why are those brothers running around the earth, destroying probably foreign people's property, etc., etc.? The story is pretty, well, shallow, basically. The premise is, father is sick, kids have to get a cure, because mother is already dead. Because little brother murdered mother. Well, not directly murdered her. It was like, I think they were out in the sea, the mother fell into the water, and the younger brother tried to save his mother, but of course couldn't, because, well, he's a younger brother, he can't pull up a whole mother. There was a cutscene and it looked kinda silly because the mother wasn't even capable of holding on to the boat, but that's beside the point. Anyways, now brother and little son have to travel the world to find that one MacGuffin that, of course, can heal their dad. Which is, like, it is at the very beginning of the game where the brother, where you could see at the beginning of the title screen of the game, that was the little brother standing, like, at the grave of her mother, of their mother. So that was the start of it. Sorry, I quickly had to think about how this puzzle goes. Oh dear. Oh, never. And yeah, the father came in suddenly sick. Now they basically have to travel the world in order to find a cure for their father. Yeah. I'm not sure. And yeah, through their journeys, they travel through different lands, meet different people, etc., etc. And as you can already maybe notice, this game is basically completely silent. Like both brother and like there is no real language. It sounds like some sort of, they talk like some sort of Simsic language, like the Sims do, just in like a Nordic accent. It is sort of neat, I guess. Why do I hold on to this? Oh, okay, now I remembered. It is kind of neat, but the problem is what this causes, of course, this is like a really emotional story in the end. It is about a drama of two kids trying to save their dad. And the problem is if they just talk gibberish and like only like emote with each other a little bit, like there are some cutscenes that go into like the personality of the characters, or like there's like a memory where the older brother fishes with his dad or something like that. But the huge problem is that I just, how to put it bluntly, I just can't give a shit about the characters. It is said in a really mean way, but that's basically the gist of it, because they have like no huge character, like no, yeah, just no fleshed out character. I just can't really like give a shit about it. Like the ending, like at the very ending, there's like a cutscene that is supposed to be very moving, and it is a very big one. Of course, I won't spoil it, otherwise I would be an asshole. And it was very emotional, and it was, but I just couldn't give a shit. Like that cutscene also, like that section also dragged on for a long time, and I started to get annoyed because they just couldn't fucking move on about it, even though it is a huge moving point in the game. But I just couldn't give a shit. I can't put it any other way. But that doesn't. What I want to say is that it's not because of me, because I am just some soulless monsters that just can't find the emotional connection with characters. I mean, I played the 2 Walking Dead series from Telltale, and I guess as a emancipated man, I can say that without any trouble. I cried like a little tiny schoolgirl. No, I legitimately cried at those games. There were some really moving story points, like very important like things happening and stuff where I just really had a tough time, like cope. Oh, yep, that is the example of letting go of the wrong trigger from the wrong character. I wanted to jump with the smaller brother, and I let go with the older brother. That is exactly what happened, because the left one is the older brother, right one is the younger brother, and of course it doesn't change up when the characters are mixed up on the screen. But oh, anyways, back to The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead had the huge advantage that they really connected. Like they really made you care about the characters, because they talk, they emote, they react to stuff, and you know, you just start to like get them. Like there are so many scenes in The Walking Dead where I really had a tough time deciding what to do, or should I really do that, should I really do this, and also just like the death of certain characters really got close to me. Like I said, I legitimately cried, because it was just so moving for me. And in this game, it just doesn't happen, because I don't know these 2 characters. I don't know if their dad was even a good dad. Like, are they really doing it because the game just basically assumes those. Okay, now I have to quickly see which one is the right one. The game automatically assumes that their dad is basically a person worth saving, and you can't say that about every father in the end. I mean, a father can be also a humongous butthole. So I'm just assumed to know that it is worth saving this person and doing this whole quest, which is a bold understanding, of course. Because there are also fathers that, of course, are the complete opposite of good fathers. But yeah. So that is the reason why this game, at least in the story department, kind of falls flat. It is... Of course, they try sometimes with like the cutscenes, and I think they could also pull it off without like having dialogue at all, like they do currently, like they do in this game. But in the end, there was just not enough like story to actually make me care about the characters. You can hear them like go yeah, etc. But there's like not that many like also scenes about their past. There are like a few of them, but none of them are particularly interesting. It's like I said, there was one scene where the older brother was fishing with his dad, but that was it. They were fishing. They were like looking, oh look, a fish. That's it. The cutscene was like 20 seconds long. There was like, it was just basically fluff. It didn't tell anything. It did nothing in the end, which was in the end really kind of sad. But gameplay-wise, I actually enjoyed this game. Like this is also like one of the gameplay parts is actually fairly nicely done. Like maybe you could already see what I'm supposed to do. That I have to sneak to this guard and try to get the key. And as you may also realize is that I shouldn't step on the bones, because stepping on the bones would alarm him. Oh, you know what? Just for giggles. Boom. I'm an asshole, I know. Oh look, the innocent little child died and I laugh. What a dick I am. Yes. But the thing is, like I said, like if it would be like a character I would know, like let's say this kid would be Clementine from Walking Dead. I would never do such a thing because I know Clementine. I would never let something like that happen to her because I actually care about her. This little guy, I just don't really care about him. He's just kind of why do you drop your key, you butterfingers? He's just kind of there, he laughs, he giggles, he does stuff, but it's not like I just can't really make a connection to him because, like I said, it's just a little guy. But I guess I can harp on forever. I think I'm just gonna do like this little puzzle. This puzzle is actually also one that is really neatly done. Oh, of course I have to open the gate. Forgot about that. No, you can't just push it open. I have to pull the lever. Ugh. Hey, I saved you, troll woman. Now let's get out of here. Yes, climb up and reach down with your hand so you can pull us up as well. Hey! Hello! Oh, hi, thank you. Yeah, I saved you from all your troubles. Yes, I like that he actually reflected my emotions. That's nice. But yeah. Now this is actually some sort, I guess, of boss fight. And it is really neatly done. I actually like the concept of this boss fight. Because, well, I think we're both not really able to punch the crap out of him, so what do we do exactly? Well, what could we do? No, don't smash me. That is mean. Okay, let's open the cage. Oh, hello there. Oh no, I'm trapped, all alone in this cage. I'm completely... Come on, buddy. Oi! Knucklehead. No, that's the wrong way. Come on. Ah, ta-da! He's kind of weirdly vibrating, but oh well. Yes, that is the gist of the boss. I think it's a really neat little puzzle. Oh, hey, look. Thank you very much. But okay, I think you basically got the gist of the game. The gameplay is nice, it's something else. The story is... I can only... I think it is a matter of perspective. Like I said, I could think that people can connect with the characters, can really be sad at the ending part. But for me, it just didn't make click. I just can't really care about those two. So, the appropriate thing to do is, I think, to end this game. To end this video. Oh, come on, pull the lever. Oh, can I just... I can't even... Oh. Fine, then I don't kill any of Don't kill the little brother. Don't let me be a sadist game. But okay. Well, it is recommendable if you like a good story, or if you like neat gameplay, if you can also just get... I mean, in the end it's like only like €3, so you can always give it a try. It's definitely worth that price. Anyways, I was Joost, I was Kouchmore, and au revoir!